Hey, we're Versus, and you're watching Tour Press Force.
Yeah.
How's your mama?
So, you guys started the West Coast tour last week. How's everything been so far? What have the shows been like?
Great.
Awesome.
Insane.
Way better than expected.
Lot of kids.
A lot of loyal fans. It's great.
Been good.
So, what has the audience response been like? Has there been a lot of moshing?
Yeah, it's been every city's hit and miss. Like has different different vibes and stuff like that. But definitely Seattle was nuts and Portland was nuts.
Yeah.
Pomona, they were a little more.
San Fran.
No, San Fran was nuts.
San Fran was off the chain.
Yeah.
The support's definitely been there the whole time.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Some
Even
real
the
fans of music
energy.
are coming out. And
Yeah.
No matter what vibe it is, they're coming after the show and they're really digging what they're hearing.
So, how big is fan interaction to you guys?
It's everything.
It's number one.
Mike, is that
Okay.
for sure. So, fan interaction's big for you guys?
Number one.
We are a band that stands for your mental health awareness and suicide and addiction prevention. So we want to reach out to as many kids as we can, and our message is everything to us. It's what we carry every day, and we you'll hear tonight. We're going to talk about it before we play one of our new songs off the new record, The Cardinal. And that's what this whole record is about. It's about, life from the standpoint of someone dealing with depression, and it's from all forms of that, not just, that person is their love life, how it affects their family, how it affects like everything. It's not just centralized around the individual that is dealing with it. It's centralized of how it affects the whole broad spectrum,
So, being a part of the scene, there's obviously so many fans that go through anxiety and depression and dealing with suicide. How do you guys handle it when you hear these stories from fans about their struggles?
Everyone is different, and I'm not gonna lie to you. There's some kids that'll come up to me and they have the craziest story, or it's not even. Sometimes it won't be the craziest story, but you can look them in their eyes and see that they're right there on the edge, and that conversation helps them. And having that just support and just an intellectual conversation about what are our feelings and why we feel them and how we can mold to them and how we can process and because everybody that's the thing about depression, no one's going to process everything the same. Like
No situation is comparable to one another. So just strictly on the topic of domestic abuse, there's kids, parents, wives, husbands that go through said domestic abuse, but every one of them views it differently. They've got a different story. They have a different perception on what it is. So all I guess we can do in that point is to say, hey, we don't know exactly what you're going through, but we know what that weight feels like. Nothing existential weight.
It's not too small. Nothing is too small.
There's so knowing that there's somebody who can go through it with you is probably that's what we want to do. We're not gonna say there's something wrong with you because you're depressed, that it's your fault. It's you're going through a hard time, and if you need a hand, then we'll give it to you, kind of thing.
Yeah. So you guys are dropping your new album, The Cardinal. How was writing that? How was going in and tracking everything? How was it for the experience?
It was great. We spent like 3 months, or 2 or 3. Spent like 3. We spent a lot of time on this record. It's a full length, and we have 11 songs on it, and it's every song is personal, and it came out even the ones we talk about it all the time. Some of the best songs on the record that we love the most are the ones that were done last minute, they were literally done in the last
Born.
We have a song called Burn that was done literally on the last day that we were recording.
It's cool. I think that's when you kind of figure out when you found your sound is when it becomes organic and easy.
Yeah.
The initial writing process was, well, first off we have to write something. So we start where we can and what we like, and then that next song's a building block. We keep throwing up ideas back and forth, and then eventually got to a point to where like the last 4 songs of our record came out. It was like almost instantaneous. We could look at each other and be like, okay, I know what you were going for. Let's go from here, and then.
There's a direction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then from there, like our dynamic is usually instrumental first, and then lyrically we write the story around it. So like imagery, like lyrically is very important to us. So it's a very cohesive style.
Yeah.
So the writing was interesting.
We got the program.
We got a program.
Yep, we do. It works.
So, how was this music on this album different than all the other music you guys have written and put out so far?
Well, we actually, it's mature. It sounds cliche to say that, but I mean, it's just what you do as you grow as a band. You mature. Everybody matures, and it's we got out of a lot of the just what we were trying to put off, I guess, as niche and like what's popular, and we got in there and we wrote. If we wanted to sing a part, we sung it. We weren't worried about if that could be a hard part or not. We were worried about how it was vocally delivered and with in line with the instrumental and what's the best way to make it happen. And that's why the songs come off so emotional, because we match the emotion to each part of the song. Like it's literally listening when Mac and the boys get done like coming up with the complete instrumental and get everything tracked. It's almost like the story is almost already there, and the song writes itself, really. I'm writing lyrics, but there's a whole thing in the atmosphere that's already kind of developing itself. You can feel the eeriness of the song. It'll make you feel a certain way, and that's where you go. So we definitely matured, and it's got a little harder. I feel like got a little softer in some points, but we gave a little bit of everything actually.
So you guys just dropped your music video for your song Stoneheart. Can you tell us a little bit about the song, the inspiration behind it, everything, just how it was to make your music video?
Yeah, we shot it with Chris Vergara out of Florida. He runs a company called I Shoot the Front, and he actually shot the No Safety video too that we released before Stoneheart. And these 2 videos they coincide with each other really as far as message. The whole record is pretty cohesive. It's just the system, this is what becomes of a tyrant's empty fate. It's just there's people that make money off of people who are killing themselves, and that sounds ridiculous. I don't really get it. I don't understand it. But the only understanding is that there's dollar signs. There's, if we can write these prescriptions to these people, and if, maybe that one doesn't work, but we got 18 other ones we can try and keep sending them back to the pharmacy and keep plugging the dollars away and keep, pulling, insurance money. Or most of these people, now thanks to dickhead Trump, I'm sorry, but, they're not going to have medical insurance anymore. A lot of people won't have these things to be able to actually seek the help that they need. And not that it's always been there perfectly, which is why we write this message, but it's getting worse. And so if the system is going to get worse, the people have to get better. And we're our own antidote, So we have to unify and help each other, yeah.
So how did you guys go about choosing which songs to make music videos for?
We want to make music videos for them all. We want to tell a story for everything that we write.
It was hard. I mean, it wasn't easy for this record. Like, there's we love all the songs on this record. Yeah. And so it's just like, I don't know, like we have guidance. I'm not gonna lie, we have like a wonderful team behind us that really put the what about this and what about this, and we recently signed with Revival Recordings. Owned by Sean Milk from Alisana, and he, the reason why we signed with him is for that reason. Like, we don't get pushed around. He helps us with the direction of the message, and is like, maybe this will be the most effective, for right now. Like, I love this vibe, and this is what you're going for right now. Like, let's push this one. And then, so yeah, we have a lot of videos coming out for this record, a lot. So probably like 6, but don't quote me on that.
Not a hard number.
Guess
What's 6?
It's definitely 6.
So you guys said you guys are signed to Revival Records. How has that whole experience been?
Phenomenal.
Yeah.
They treat us really good.
Awesome.
Have to say great.
They are the fam.
Family. They are family.
No, they're great, and we're so thankful that they brought us out on this tour. It's been amazing. Like, it's been a really good way to kick the record off, and with good people, and it's the whole tour package. Honestly, there's not a bad person on this tour package.
Oh no.
Like, it's like so
Great
easy
show.
every day to get up and be around everyone. So, it's welcome to summer camp in the winter time. Is it even winter time? It's hot as shit outside.
It's 80 outside. What winter? You guys don't get winter.
No, we don't.
You get a breeze.
Maybe if you're lucky.
So after this tour, where can fans catch you next?
Everywhere.
Mars, Red Rocks. No, we're gonna
There's plans.
we're gonna be on the road pretty much most of the year. So you can expect to see us pretty much wherever you're at. At some point, we're gonna get to you. So I could assume that we just did the West Coast. So don't quote me on this, but I could assume there's probably some other stuff going on. There's 6. The number 6. Mars, Red Rocks. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for your time. Pick up on the record.